Hey, what's going on, Geminis? Butch here. I am going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. Today I'm going to be using the Crow Tarot. It's actually a really cool deck that I've been thinking about getting for a long time. I finally pulled the trigger, and I don't regret it. It's a bigger deck, which I enjoy because I have bigger hands. I feel like a lot of decks, especially like Rose uses a lot of the mini decks, and I can't even use them. It's just too small. But there's a very few decks that I found that are, fit comfortably in my hand, but this is one of them. I love the imagery that it has on the cards as well. But with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what's going on from the Geminis? All right, Gemini. So the first thing I see, Gemini, is I feel like this is someone that you're already dealing with. And I feel like with this person, we first and foremost, we have the Six of Cups. I feel like with this person, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. We're going to start off straight to the point. I feel like this person, I feel like there's a lot of issues you have with this person. And the fact that I feel like they challenge you and you challenge them. And I feel like when we challenge each other, I feel like sometimes it can feel chaotic. This person doesn't back down easily, and I don't feel like you back down easily. And I feel like that clashes sometimes. But what I do see is I feel like this is someone that you've already established trust with. I feel like you trust this person, even though you may not agree with them, but there is that trust. At the end of the day, the two of you trust in each other. Now, I feel like you both also stand your ground when it comes to each other. I wish I could pick up these cards. I need nails. We got the seven of wands. I feel like you both stand your ground when it comes to each other and for each other. That's the most important part. A lot of people think that when you're with the right person, everything just gels. Everything is just, it's not like that. We have to there's so much more than that. I really don't know exactly how to explain it, but I feel like, you can be with someone that challenges you. You can be with someone that, you can, sometimes it even feels like you hate that person. But at the end of the day, you don't. And that's the difference between this and any other relationship. They know how to they know how to push your buttons, and you know how to push theirs. And neither one of you seem like you're afraid to do it. But I feel like that's not the biggest issue between the two of you. I feel like the biggest issue is the hot and cold energy. With that Five of Pentacles, I feel like there's this in and out energy where everything is as it should be, but there is times when you're not really sure what they're thinking. What I do see is I see two people that have found each other. You know, and I feel like they were meant to find each other. I mean, I feel like you protect each other. No matter how much, you know, chaotic energy goes between you, no matter how much, you know, fighting or, you know, disagreeing you do, you've always got each other's back. That's the important part here with that Emperor and Empress energy. You know, the king and the queen. You know, it's all about that. It's all about the fact that no matter how, even when you're pissed at each other, they got your back, you have their back. This is someone you can rely on. You know, and I feel like sometimes it gets the better of you, that the fact that this just seems like the only person that you have genuinely. And the fact that you guys get at each other sometimes, that can make that very frustrating. But we have to see this in a different perspective. With that Hangman. The different perspective is that this is the person you can depend on. This is a person that will show up for you. This person will put in the work for you. With that Eight of Pentacles, I feel like I said, there may be times when we're pissed at each other. You know what I mean? There may be times when you have blowout arguments and where you just feel like you don't want to see them again, but then you do want to see them again because that's the draw. I mean, we have the Lover's card. This is a deeper connection than I feel like you even realize. And part of the reason why I don't feel like you're seeing what's right in front of you is because I feel like this person does hold back. But I'm not going to... I feel like they hold back from you. That's why you don't see the whole picture. But let's be honest. I feel like you hold back from them. Because maybe it's because they're holding back from you. All I see is these walls keep coming up. You know, that self-imposed prison. You know, everybody thinks that when you're with the right person, everything's perfect. It's not. When you're with the right person, the perfect moments are perfect. You know, when you're with the right person, you can depend on them. You can know that they're going to show up for you. You know, every relationship, even the most perfect relationships, there is chaotic moments. You know, I feel like with this person, there is a lot of chaotic moments, but I feel like when things are good, they're great. I feel like what adds to the chaos is the fact that neither one of you seem like you're really being completely 100% honest with each other. I don't feel like it's malicious. I don't feel like you're doing it to hurt each other. I just feel like we read too much into the bad things and not enough into the good things. You know, I feel like in the beginning, I feel like it was there was a lot of passion that you had with this person. And I feel like now the passion seems to come out more in aggression and argument. You know, I feel like this person has some fire in their charts, and I feel like you have some in yours as well. Because like I said, I feel like neither one of you really want to back down. You both hold your ground with that Seven of Wands. But I feel like when this started, I feel like it was more of a passionate relationship, more physical. And a lot of relationships get in trouble that way. You know, kind of when the passion runs out, what do we have left? But what you have left is something that we're not really seeing. Because I feel like at the end of the day, you know, I feel like you're both very intelligent. And I feel like this person, like I said, they challenge you. It's not like anyone you ever met before. But they're challenging you, and you're challenging them. But you're both doing it to make each other stronger. You're not doing it to be hurtful. You know, sometimes we need people that call us out on their shit. Sometimes we don't necessarily love it, but we need it. Just like I feel like you need each other. You know, the want is there. You want each other, but I feel like you need each other as well. I feel like right now, I just feel a lot of looking at the negatives instead of the positives here. You know, and like I said, with that hangman, I feel like we need to look at a different perspective and see what's right there in front of us. At the end of the day, I feel like you have a strong bond with this person. And I feel like it's time for this to move forward. You know, there's a strong foundation here. And like I said, with that chariot as well, I feel like it's time for this to move forward. It was always meant to move forward. And I feel like you both knew that, and you both still know that. Trust your intuition. There's a reason why you're drawn together. With that Lover's card, there's something much deeper at play here. You know, I feel like there's a little bit of a... On either side, I feel like a lot of it is what's holding you back from being completely honest with each other and being completely open with each other is I fear there is, you know, in both your past, I feel like very, very similar past, a lot of twin flame energy here. I feel like you've been down the same roads, and I feel like you're reacting in the same way because you've been down the same roads. You know, I feel like in the past, I feel like you've never had much luck. So it's almost like that makes you a little bit more reserved, and that makes them a little more reserved. But what I see is I see two people that were meant to be together. And I see two people that know that. But I also see two people that have been very resistant to it. You know, sometimes when we have strong feelings for someone, it's hard to be honest with them. You know, we don't want to leave ourselves vulnerable. We don't want to be left there holding the bag. But I feel like there's a lot of overthinking going on here. And like I said, I do see a lot of happiness for the both of you. And I do see it coming sooner than later. You know, the Nine of Cups, that emotional fulfillment, and the Sun card, that happiness. But I feel like it's time to move forward. It's time to, you know, just be honest with each other. I feel like we never really were completely honest with each other. And I feel like that starts with, you know, looking into the mirror and seeing what's there. You know, I feel like this person, you know, it's time to look in the mirror and realize that the person that's with you is with you for a reason. The person that has your back for a reason. There's no malicious intent. There's no, you know, it's possible you and them, one or both of you, have been used in the past, and it does hold us back. But don't let the past hold you back from your future. You know, somebody might have let you down in the past. Somebody might have let them down in the past. It could have been multiple people. But it's not about then, it's about now. You know, it's time for the truth. You know, like I said, I do see a lot of happiness coming for you, and I do see this being a strong bond. But like I said, this person will challenge you, and I don't think that's ever going to stop. And then you're going to challenge them, and that's never going to stop. But that's what makes you better. That's what makes you stronger. You can handle it. They can handle it. And I feel like the more the truth comes out, the more we'll just feel that much more relaxed in our own skin. You know, there's no judgment here. This person, the reason they hold back has nothing to do with you, and the reason you're holding back has nothing to do with them. So let's not blame each other. Let's not play the blame game. Time for the truth. Let's be honest. And I feel like, you know, the sky's the limit here. I feel like there's a lot of happiness to come. There's a strong bond that you have with this person that I feel like you may never have felt before. But as long as we ignore the elephant in the room, that elephant keeps getting older. And the older it gets, the bigger it gets. And sooner or later, we're going to feel suffocated. Like I said, there's a strong foundation here. There's a establishment of trust. I feel like deep down you know you can trust them, and deep down they know they can trust you. It doesn't mean the fighting's ever going to stop. Doesn't mean it just means that it'll slow down. Like I don't feel like challenging each other is a bad thing. I feel like as long as we're not being honest with each other, those disputes or arguments or fights never really get solved. Because you both walk away thinking you were right. And even when you know or they know they were wrong, it's like it's a pride thing of not wanting to admit it. Now with this person, we have Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. We have all signs. We have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Sometimes when we meet the right person, we may meet the person we were meant to meet. It doesn't always seem, there's more to it than it seems. So many people think that when you meet the right person, everything just clicks, everything's perfect from day one, and it'll always be perfect. Meeting the right one means putting it all in there. It means you got to risk some. You got to work at it. But what it does mean is when you meet your person is that if you put the work in, you do what's right, you're honest, and you have each other's back, there's nothing you can't do. Nothing. Some relationships people get together and yeah, it seems perfect, but I really have never seen a perfect relationship. I've seen some good ones. I've seen some really good ones. But most of the ones that I've seen, the really good ones, it took work. It's whether or not you care and love that person enough, trust that person, depend on that person enough to make it worth your while. And if you do that, it becomes perfect. We all want that person that's got our back. We all want that person that through thick and thin, no matter what, they'll protect us. And even if there's moments when you hate each other, it's going to happen. There's going to be moments when you're pissed off. You don't even want to look at the person. But even in those moments, if someone else came in and tried to, interfere, or someone tried to shit talk that person, you'd always have their back. And they're the same way. This person has your back. And that's very hard to find in this world. It's hard to find someone that puts you before them. And this person does that. And I feel like you do that for them. And I feel like that's part of the frustration that you feel when you're with them. Because we're not being honest. Not completely. But there's a lot you have here. I see a very bright future for the two of you. But we have to accept the good, the bad, the ugly. Sometimes we're not going to get along. Sometimes we're not going to see eye to eye. Sometimes we're not going to back down. But just remember, it happens on both sides. It's going to happen for both of you. It's not what happens in the fight. It's what happens after. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.